Hello and welcome to the E14 Gamecast, Emotion E14's gaming podcast. I'm your host Rob Boyd and I'm joined as always by my pet rock, Blake Harmer.
Player 2 has entered the game.
And Brad Howard Barnes is with us.
Woo!
Nice. Which game's that from?
Doppler effect for Doppelring.
Oh, cool. I thought it was one of the audiences from Track and Field. The new version, not that, you know.
Not the shit one. Yeah.
No.
Foul.
Well, it would have, just been... Anyway. Segue and a half. We have an iTunes review to read, so we'll do that briefly.
Yay.
So this is from Seamus McKillian. Now, Seamus is prolific in the podcasting scene. In fact, I'm going to have to look up, because he does so many different shows, I'm going to have to look it up to make sure I remember them all. So, in the meantime, I'm going to read what he said, which is very kind. So he went with a 5-star review, and he writes, amazed. I'm not sure if he means amazed that it was 5 stars. It's like, I was expecting nothing and was fucking amazed that it wasn't nothing. But he writes, how could you not enjoy a Gamecast? A must listen for gaming fans and podcast fans alike. Which is very nice, isn't it? Yeah. It's lovely. Well, thank you for that, Seamus. And like I say, I'm just in the process still of finding his...
Which, for the magic of editing, will make it seem quicker.
So you can find him on at Twitter at Seamus the Host, which is a good explanation of what he does. So he does the Chewed Gum podcast, Tuesdays with Mari, and the Aggravated Hour. Okay. So he's, like I say, I thought I was prolific, yeah. But
you do 3 shows. That's pretty.
I do, but I don't produce them all.
Yeah, but take credit where it's fair, mate.
Well, yeah, fine. Yeah. All right. Anyway, thank you. Thank you, Seamus. So we have a question from Jeremy. He doesn't get a jingle on this one because it's a Gamecast.
Yeah.
And I can't do chiptunes impressions. I've tried and it just hurts my throat.
Fair.
Yeah. So
welcome to the Gamecast. You can't have nice things.
Thank you for writing in. That's your lot. So Jeremy asks, so this is tangentially related to gaming, but I can tie it in because he goes on to sort of bring gaming into the discussion. Right. Back in the days before digital ruled the world, or as us dinosaurs still do, how would you store DVDs? I keep mine by genre and by actor, so I always know where to go if I fancy watching a horror or a Doris Day movie. I hear some monsters store things alphabetically, which obviously is wrong. Legal disclaimers, it is subjective. The same with books and games, of course. How do you keep your collections, or at least, how did you keep them?
Right, before the age of digital,
yes,
DVDs.
Okay.
What do you think the first D stands for?
Well, no. Disc, right?
Yeah, sure.
Disc video.
Disc versus dick
on pay-per-view. Right?
Yeah, you just have to keep carving it until you enjoy the movie.
Yeah. No, it's true. But I know what you mean in terms of physical media versus cloud-based storage.
Okay. My DVDs were alphabetical.
Yep.
Because apparently I'm a Hitler.
Yeah, same.
All right, Auntie Kath.
Yeah. My books were just I tried to keep series together, but otherwise it was just as best as I could get them to fit on a shelf because books aren't uniform like DVD cases are.
That's the trouble, isn't it? Some are hardback and some are taller, some are thicker.
I've never owned enough video games it was ever really a problem. I could just chuck them in with the DVDs, and my board games was, again, depending on what the size of the box was and what I could do with it.
That's the other thing. I mean, board games are a little bit more uniform sized than books, I guess.
Not really across publishers, no.
But I mean, you've got the sort of Monopoly style long thin one.
Yeah.
You got the Fantasy Flight style short
square ones,
and then you've got the bigger
often.
Double sized Fantasy Flight ones.
Yeah, that's fine if you're just buying Fantasy Flight games, but if you start bringing in like bookcase war games or card games or
I suppose
Cards Against Humanity hasn't got the same size box. There's no standardised box size. Really.
This is true. Yeah, but
thanks Obama
with board games and.
I would say I'm mostly alphabetical, so I am a monster.
Right. How can there be 2 Auntie Kaths?
You fold it under M.
I suppose if I was to do anything slightly different, again, it would still be alphabetical.
Yeah.
It would be, I would have, obviously, my DVDs alphabetical by movie, and then I'd have my box sets by alphabetical.
Oh, I see. Okay.
For like TV series.
Yeah.
Same for video games, they'll be alphabetical, but it would obviously be by, the platform.
Yeah, that's fair enough. So you subdivide them by platform as well rather than
I'd have my PS4 games in one place, my PS3 games.
Yeah.
PS1.
Coming back to Jeremy's question, not only does he seem to think that DVDs aren't digital, he also seems to be under the impression that Doris Day is a genre.
We did say genres and by actors.
How do you do that?
Listen to the whole question. Oh, what?
How do you do it? All right, you break it up. Oh, here's my horror films in one section.
Yep.
Here's all my comedy movies in one section. And, here's my William H. Macy section.
I guess what you do is I guess within the genre, so you group your horror movies together.
Right,
This
sounds more complicated than just doing alphabetical to
I know.
me.
I don't know if it's just...
What a section, though. Jurassic Park 3 and Mystery Men.
I know, right?
And Fargo.
Yeah.
And Thank You for Smoking, because if you don't have it, you should. It's a good movie.
I've not seen that, but bit.
Aaron Eckhart, so you'd have Thank You for Smoking, The Dark Knight, that fucking romantic comedy with Jennifer Aniston. No, that's... Never mind.
Harrison Ford, you dick.
It's just quicker to call you Auntie Kath. But yeah, I think from what he's described...
In fact, that's short for catheter.
I haven't seen his collection, so I don't know, but I'm guessing he divides them by genre and then within that kind of groups them roughly by the lead actor.
Okay.
I can't get my head around that system, but then at the same time, at the moment, I have no system.
Yeah, I have
Mine
no
started
system
alphabetical because, I taught cats to vote or something.
Yeah.
And then when we moved, I put some stuff in the cabinet and then put some stuff in the spare room.
Yeah.
And I've never gone through and put them in any sort of discernible order. It's just, and they're not even by formats. I mean, like my DVDs and Blu-rays are sort of relatively intermingled as well. Yeah. They're separate, one shelf for DVDs, then the Blu-rays underneath, then Blu-rays again, then DVDs again. Mm-hmm. There's no discernible kind of structure to it. It's just because I've never really felt the need, because at the moment, my digital library is increasing in size. Now, that does force you to put it alphabetical. So I don't really have a choice there. Bite me.
Mm. Yeah, no, my digital thing is either alphabetical or by, weirdly, purchase order. So.
I've never been able to do autobiographical.
You need to start doing it from birth, really.
You kind of, if you don't start doing it,
not a chance.
I couldn't tell you. I can tell you the first DVD I bought, and I can tell you the last DVD I bought, but I couldn't tell you what's in between in the slightest.
I think it's just sometimes when Amazon has a weird thing on the app on the PlayStation anyway.
Yeah.
Where if you look through the video library, it doesn't seem to do it alphabetically. It seems to be the order that you purchased it in.
Digital can sometimes do it they sort of separate it out. So they've got like a purchase section, and that might be done by recency. But then if you go to the main library, it will do it alphabetical. Yeah. You think you can genre it as well?
Oh, I'm sure if I messed about a bit, I could do it.
Yeah. And you can subdivide those alphabetically for added fuck you, Jeremy, from, directly from Apple. But I don't know why Apple have this against Jeremy. Maybe he sent them similar questions.
He swore at a genius once.
Maybe, Fuck you, Hawking.
I think autobiographical has only been accomplished in high fidelity anyway, hasn't it?
Yeah.
It was attempted. In the book, it was attempted.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think he ever gets there. Because he talks about it, but it sounds convoluted even when he's describing it.
Yeah.
Especially in the book.
It's true.
It's just such a short book. It's actually easier to read than watch for film.
Yeah, it is. It's a good book though, and a great film.
Yeah,
Cusack playing John Cusack's my favourite kind of John Cusack movie.
Tim Robbins is awesome, isn't it?
Yeah, you can group it with Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah. Put that in your William H. Macy section.
Yeah. Jack Black's actually all right.
There you go. Stick that with School of Rock.
Jack Black has his moments.
Yeah, stick that with School of Rock and Nacho Libre.
Makes you still here, supposed to. Yeah,
that makes sense.
Ecky Thump.
Yeah, so
thanks, man.
As a related question, what if you had to ballpark it? You don't have to make it exact, but what percentage of your collection would you say is digital at this stage?
Oh, across what?
Let's say movies and TV.
Are you in relation 10. To my entire collection?
I still have mostly DVDs, yeah.
Okay.
Well, I was going to say I've got fucking loads of DVDs, and that's what I would say. I would still predominantly
still quite low,
but newer stuff I've been buying more digital than I have.
So the numbers going up, but not.
Yeah, eventually it will catch up, but not near that. I'm not troubling that figure anytime soon.
Mm. You say you're not sold on digital?
No, I don't think the price point doesn't work out. It's still easier to buy DVDs.
For the most part, I agree. I think, where digital tends to be good is flash sales, where they start to reduce the price suddenly, unexpectedly.
For me, I gut I have like a CD wallet, so I just gut the DVDs, put the DVDs in that, and it doesn't take up any more shelf space because I've got like 500 capacity wallet. So
what do you do with the box?
I just sling it.
Just throw it away?
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Because secondhand, if I did want to sell them, the secondhand market for DVDs, toilet, there's no point.
Oh yeah, I'm talking about just the case.
I'll just throw the case away. I put the disc in the wallet.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I've been doing that.
Yeah, so you store yours in a wallet as well. So this is an additional layer to the question.
Yeah, no, the only ones I think I've kept out is my Star Wars DVDs, so I've got signatures on the covers.
That's fair enough. I've still got my DVDs. I've replaced all my... Well, I've bought all the Star Wars in Blu-rays, except I haven't bought Last Jedi yet because I'm not desperate to buy it straight away. But I've still got the DVDs of the original trilogy because, reasons. Yeah. I think I still had the prequels until not that long ago. I don't know what I did with them. Maybe I sold them.
Got the Blu-ray box set, but I'm not as... the newer films I have digitally.
Oh, I was glad to throw that box away.
Which one's that?
It's Star Wars Blu-ray. It's awful box art.
Oh, the one with Anakin on the front.
It's little pants.
The new one's much better. The new Saga box set. The one with just Vader on the front. It's awesome.
Yeah, a lot better.
Yeah. Way cool. Yeah, so say about 10% of your DVDs.
Yeah.
About 10% of your DVDs.
Yeah, probably easily about that. Yeah.
Now do games. This is where his brain breaks.
How far back are we going? So I've got a lot of Mega Drive.
I'm talking, let's say, current gen and maybe the one before, like PS3.
Current gen.
80% digital, probably.
80%. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, especially that's made worse by
Steam
stuff by PlayStation. No, yeah, okay, yeah. Let's not talk about the PC.
And PlayStation,
I will exclude PC because there is no real gen with PC. No. It's just games that come out.
I think PlayStation, you get that shuffleware subscription, don't you?
But that's the thing. Some months it is. Things like PlayStation Plus and games with gold don't help the amount of digital.
Well, if it helps you factor them out, you don't technically own them as you own them as long as you maintain the subscription. So let's go with stuff you actually physically hold the rights to, rather than renting as such.
I'm still, even though I probably own more, because that's the thing, I technically own more digital games than physical games.
Yeah.
But I'm more inclined to buy physical games because I trade in a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm more likely to, because I mean, it has to be a very good game for me to replay it. Mm-hmm. So normally I will play a game, complete it once. I probably won't, if I do play it again, it would be years. So I normally trade it in, and then if I do really get a hankering to really must play that game again, it's probably going to be like cheapest chips.
This is true.
Anyway, so I'll pick it up again.
I almost rebought Alien Isolation in the Easter sale on PlayStation because it was £7 or some stupidly small amount. I didn't buy it because I have enough games at the moment, but it was very tempting.
So PTSD.
Well, there's that too, yeah. Needing a hug after that.
If anyone wants to just borrow my copy, I'm not in any hurry to play it at the moment.
No, it's true.
It's all the harrow.
I didn't get that far, but I wasn't, right at the beginning. I got a little way in.
I didn't even... I think I'm such a scaredy pants when it comes to video games.
You're really not good with horror games, are you?
Yeah. I think it's worse than a horror film. I'm there. I feel like I'm there.
Best tip for surviving any horror video game ever: pretend you're Geralt.
Well, yeah, that does help.
Yeah. That ties really nicely into the next question. That's really weird that we've done that.
Well, when you're playing Geralt, pretending to be Geralt...
Which games benefit best from pretending to be Geralt?
I'd say in terms of books, probably something like 95% of my stuff is digital now.
It's so convenient. That's the thing, isn't it? Like you have one device.
Audio books and Kindle books, and easily 95% of my collection.
I would say, I'd say that's probably true of me as well.
I would say a lot of things I've been buying more recently have been digital.
Who thinks he buys books?
I buy them for Cat.
Still counts.
Yeah, still counts.
Still purchasing.
Yeah.
I mean, I admit I'm terrible with books, so I use Audible a lot.
None taken.
I listen to your book.
Oh, someone else read it to you.
Yeah.
So yeah, games quite a high percentage. I'd say probably even if you factor out Steam, which for me you'd have to, because it would be like the physical copies would be about 4% at a push. Even if you count PC, I think the only reason I've got games in the cupboard is because I don't want to get rid of them because there's one particular game you can't buy anymore because it's the movies. And Lionhead have gone bust and Activision let the license drop and it's just gone. I don't know where it's gone.
Does it even work?
No, but I just don't want to get rid of it just in case somebody does a fan mod to patch it for Windows 10.
Yeah, my only hope would be GOG for that one.
That's never had. It's the most requested game on GOG, I think, in terms of...
You tried Abandoneer?
I think old enough yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it needs to exceed a certain age, I think, before Abandoneer will generally pick it up.
Fair enough.
I'll have a look, because you never know.
And it's got to be old enough to vote. Small hope is whether it appears on Origin, but that would be...
I don't see that happening.
No, I don't think it would.
I mean, some old games are on Origin.
Yeah,
it was a great game.
True. It was a great game. And I would say way back when I wanted to make an E14 TV series with it, but it was quite...
That's what I said. It would be EA would be the problem there, I think.
Yeah.
Like most of the game industry.
You're right, Redditor. For somebody who doesn't spend a lot of time on the internet, you talk like somebody who spends all their time on the internet.
I'm only joking. It's because I read all the comments on IGN and I don't know why everyone is so cross.
No, that is the thing, isn't it? Sometimes it's just like...
They're on the internet too much.
Yeah, basically.
But that's the thing. I'll just go, oh, there's a new, like an article about the new God of War, for example.
Fuck EA.
Yeah, I was like...
What?
Oh, he's got a beard. Don't like beards. Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, don't buy God of War.
It's going to be shit. It's going to be all cutscenes and no gameplay. Oh, don't buy it.
Maybe they'll sell clean-shaven Kratos as DLC.
Yeah.
Will you be happy with that? Oh, no.
No,
Not.
they're never happy. That's the thing.
That's true. Internet people.
Yeah.
Hello, Internet people.
Hello, Internet people.
No doubt you've got a laundry list of complaints.
Most people are quite happy with whatever gets released most of the time.
Yeah.
It just ends up being, but you get the vocal minority all the time.
Yeah, you do. This is true. You get the vocal minority who are super happy with everything, and then you got the vocal minority who are also super depressed about everything.
It's a bit like you'll read articles about the greatest games of last year, for example, and it'll be like, they'll be really rating like Horizon Zero Dawn and Zelda, for example. But then there'll always be those guys but the first few comments you read will be like, oh, I don't know how Horizon got number 2 because it was so generic and crap.
Yeah.
And I was just like,
I enjoyed
one of the best games I played last year.
Really good game. I enjoyed it a lot.
To me, for different reasons, it is joint with Zelda.
Breath of the Wild is the first game in a long time where I've played it, and within a year, I've thought about playing it again. It's like most games, I don't even countenance that, which makes FIFA seasons a fucker. Right, I've got to get through 38 games in a single playthrough. What do I... Let's get going. 1 minute halves. Let's do this.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes games are so big that I don't even think about it.
Yeah.
I consider playing it again. Something like Horizon and Zelda, I might play them again admittedly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the only other open world game I've replayed has been Red Dead Redemption.
Yes, I remember you saying you like that one a lot.
That's the only one I've
I'm looking forward to a new one of X. We'll not play one.
Should be good, I think.
Yeah, you missed out on the first one. It's surprising. I thought you would have liked it.
Missed out is a bit dramatic.
Probably would have.
Well, no. I know you never played it.
Grand Theft Horse, wasn't it?
To a point.
To a degree, yeah. It's a bit like LA Noire. It's
Old.
quite obvious that they've.
That's fine.
It's quite obvious that they've heavily lifted.
Truth.
That's fine. Yeah.
No, I'm not saying Red Dead Redemption is like LA Noire. I meant.
Oh.
You knew exactly what I meant. You can't.
It's annoying when somebody does it.
No comment.
When asked if Red Dead Redemption was like LA Noire, Blake had no comment, even though there's no physical there's no legal or logistical reason for him not to think.
You can tell that there's similarities with the open world engine. LA Noire is basically a really, really excellent detective game, but the bits in between are obviously crawled in from Grand Theft Auto. Yeah. And obviously there are bits from Red Dead Redemption where it's obviously that they, like the HUD and all that sort of thing is very much like Grand Theft Auto.
So when you modify the suspension on the horses, you're like, this is obviously lifted from San Andreas.
Yeah.
It's like, when I can't walk more than 3 feet before it robs me of some sort of stat, it must be like San Andreas.
And if you rotate the ear on the horse, you get chatterbox.
Is it illegal just going?
Stop rotating horses.
Yeah, you're not going to get the station. Doesn't matter how much you twist.
Yeah. At best, you might just get kicked in the face.
See also dicks.
What's the question?
It's about storage. So we've covered that pretty. We're good.
Crazy.
Yeah, we're good.
Not this podcast.
Yeah, we're good. We've done this one. So he has another gaming question. So Jeremy, another one, and like I say, this ties in nicely to a conversation we were just having. Okay. Inspired by your talk of Five Nights at Freddy's, my son Freddie.
Okay.
Shout out Freddie. Oh no, he won't be listening. He's like
brutally murders people in a pizzeria.
Can't be trusted in a restaurant. So Freddie, my son and future podcasting legend, you know what? I believe it. Is obsessed with Five Nights at Freddy. He has T-shirts, toys, Funko Pops, and all sorts. He can't.
Yeah, I think
how does he get any sleep? It's just like I can't imagine. Do they glow in the dark at Freddy? Fuck you.
Yeah.
He doesn't think it's a scary game, but he enjoys the jump scares. What is the scariest game you've ever played, be it jump scares or just plain creepy atmosphere? Now, I know we've talked a little bit about this on a previous show, but I don't think you were with us when you did, so it'd be interesting to get your thoughts on this. But generally, so it's 2 parts. The scariest game you've ever played from the jump scare point of view and the plain creepy ones.
Project Zero.
Project
That's,
Zero
that's one that gets mentioned a lot.
is probably one that's getting. I mean, I didn't even fucking play it. I was just watching him play it.
When I was at uni, me and my mate used to life and level games, and we would go through and complete them. But and so I went for mates, which we completed and did life and level. That was really great fun. And then we got Project Zero, and we did life and level. It was literally holding the control pad, and after about 2 minutes, going, "You have a go now." It's genuinely horrible. It's really eerie, really genuinely. It's kind of like
that's like creepy Japanese horror.
It's like the Grudge type horror. Yeah. So it's eerie and then jump scares as well.
Yeah, it's all about unease and then
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, the Japanese are either absolutely amazing at ghost stories, or they don't have a clue what ghosts are and just making shit up with videotapes and wells. I haven't decided which it is.
Which either way is terrifying. How good they are at it.
Yeah.
I think you're going to say they're either really good at ghost stories or shit at musicals. Because there's no tunes in any of them.
6-1.
Yeah. Telltale Games Rent. There's a scary one.
Can't be as bad as me watching shows.
Yeah, you are crap at that. Legs in the air.
Like don't care.
Lying down, face down on the floor.
Face by nose bent in.
The iPad strapped to the back of your head, pointing the other way. Silent Hill 1
was really quite scary.
Yeah, and there's a particular bit that I will recall forever, and I may have told this story already, but I don't care because it still sticks with me as one of the scariest things ever. So in Silent Hill 1, the whole thing was you would go to an area, it would be benign, and then it would turn into the sort of hell portal thing, and then you'd go around a slightly different version of that area. So different doors would open that were locked before, and vice versa. There was a school in Silent Hill 1. In the movie, they touch on it briefly, I think, but not for very long. But in the game, you spend a fair bit of time there, and you're walking around the school, and there's a locker in one of the rooms that's just banging like bang, 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 bang. I was like, oh shit! I was like, what? Oh god, what's this? You open it, cat jumps out, runs off around the corner, goes outside the door, out of player's visible shot, and then you hear it scream and sort of like slurping noises and chomping noises. Once you leave that room, it's the first time you're introduced to monsters in the school. So they've obviously just materialised out of thing to eat the cat. It transforms into the hell portal, and you're just walking along, and then you go into the same room, and there's a banging on the thing. I was like, oh fuck! If it was a jump scare then, like a jump then, it's going to be a fucking horrible one. Now it's going to be like a zombie cat or a demon or something. I walk up, open the door, locker's empty. Oh, that's clever. The second you turn the analog stick, a body falls out of a locker that wasn't interactive. I had to stop the game. Yeah. And 5 minutes just breathing deep to get my heart rate back down to a healthy human level because I was just
it's
terrified.
It's against your actual analog stick, so it knows when you.
It knows as soon as you move in any direction. I think as soon as you move to walk away from the locker, it drops out of the locker just like that. And it drops from a locker that's not, like sometimes when things are interactive, they've got that sort of, you can see the lines around the edge.
Programming around it, yeah.
None of it. Because it's a cutscene, they can just do that.
Yeah.
And I was just, oh God. I had to sit there for, let's say, a good 5-10 minutes, just breathing like big, deep, cleansing breaths before I could go back into it.
Yeah.
Only one game's ever given me nightmares, but that wasn't it. It was Mortal Kombat 2 because I played for so long to get Noob Saibot that I gave myself nightmares until about 13. Oh, okay. That'll do it.
For those who don't know, I'm a horror writer, so yes. I'm quite involved in the field, and it's always been something I've been passionate about as well. And one of the things that sticks in my mind from the original Silent Hill, and again, I'm only a year older than you, so it's probably about the same age.
I guess so. I was at... No, I wasn't at uni. It was just before I went to uni. A mate of mine at school had... I was
about 17, I think.
So it would have been about the same age. 15, 16, I guess it would have been. That's about right.
And the opening scene is when it's after the car crash, when you're first exploring the town, and it's just shot from the weirdest angles. As you're walking down, the camera just tracks in ways you'd never seen a video game do before. You'd only seen some weird movies do. Yeah. It wasn't a conventional way of framing any of the shots in there. And I remember there's one bit very on, you've just got the Zippo casting this light down this alleyway. You're walking down, and the camera kind of tilts up and back. And at the end of this alleyway is a knocked over wheelchair. Yes. And the wheels just spinning slowly. And that really shut me up for the longest time because I was like, that's genuinely one of the eeriest things in my horror fan brain. And I started writing by this point anyway, not with any degree of success, but I was interested in doing it. And that kind of set me for that's genuinely the way that wheel is just spinning ever so slowly. You know, this either happened quite recently or someone's been here quite recently and has knocked the wheel. That's genuinely unsettling. That concept, something so close. And a few years later, I just was dicking around and looked up that. I remember thinking about that bit. It's always stayed in my mind, that scene. And I looked it up on YouTube, and you walk down the alleyway and the lighting on the eyes brilliant. The camera pulls up and back. The wheel's not spinning. I totally imagined it.
Wow.
And it's just stuck in my mind. There's this false memory of this wheel just gently spinning.
Wow.
It's brilliant.
Yeah. Is that the bit that they do practically shot for shot in the film?
Yes, the one towards the beginning where it's again
like the nightmare
when
bit.
you're first introduced to the nightmare bit in the
wake
film.
Up in the cafe.
Yeah. In fact, I think that's where you.
I love that they
go
do
from
that
there
bit shot for shot because they even do that pull up camera thing.
Yeah, but that's to reveal, isn't it? To reveal something gruesome in the film.
No, they actually do it as she walks down the stairs. They actually do that pull up.
Oh, right,
as she's walking downstairs. They literally do the camera angle shot for shot as the game, which I think is a lovely little touch.
That game's fucking
it's so good.
Brilliant. Yeah, it's one of the best. What was great about those games was they were simultaneously able to make it terrifying, but at the same time kind of goofy. Because you had where you went to the shopping mall and you fell down and had to fight a big fuck off tremor. It's like because reasons. It's like we're still Japan. At the end of the day, we're still going to have you fight a tentacle, and it's going to fuck you up, just not like the normal ones. And then there's an ending where you get abducted by aliens, and you can finish the game in about 2 hours.
I do think it's like a dog or something as well. Like
that's Silent Hill 2. Yeah,
I do think Silent Hill was the first genuinely scary video game. There have been horror games before then, but they had been more action packed. The only other one possibly was the first Resident Evil. I
was going to say, first Resi, I think the first Resi is scary because it's the lack of, like, Resi 2 is not as scary.
Lack of controls, to be honest with you.
Lack of controls.
Move like a tank.
Yeah, lack of ammo. Resi 2 is more like an action game because of that.
Yeah.
Because you have more games, more guns, rather.
Yeah, the first one is... Even so, although it is Alien, it is the comparison of Resi to Resi 2 is very much Alien to Aliens.
Yes, I agree.
But even so, in the first Resident Evil, you're a special forces trooper who has a gun.
True.
Yeah, you're not some rando who's crashed his car and has managed to find a crowbar.
I think that's why Silent Hill was quite different at the time because they had always had been you are an SAS bloke.
If there's tense stuff, like we could include Doom, there's lots of tense bits in Doom, but I don't know you could call it horror, scary.
Doom 3 had a lot of jump scares. It's like people called it monster cupboards, where it's like you learned where they came from and where they jumped from, and there wasn't really much. Once you played it a few times, it's like I know where everything is. It's not really scary.
It was a good experience, but it wasn't the strongest game by any stretch.
No, it was quite obvious that they were still taking mechanics from the original Dooms. I think that was the main thing. Like the whole, there's a power up here. Oh no, more monsters are going to drop in.
Yeah, Eternal Darkness was good on the GameCube. That was the one that fucked with you. No, fucked with you as much as the game fucked with the characters. It was like your character would be going but it was somebody famous in Japanese game design. I can't remember for the life of me which of the developers it was, but it was a famous. It was Silicon Knights. It was Dennis Dyack's project, the one before Two Human bankrupted him, or bankrupted them at least. Yeah. But it was their studio that did it. But I'm sure there was somebody famous involved, but besides Dennis Dyack, obviously. But that was the one where your character would lose sanity and it would start having effects on your meta experience. So you'd watch the volume go shooting down. And you'd be like, wait, what? I didn't turn that off. And you think, am I sitting on the remote? And it's just designed to make you second guess yourself. Okay. And that all those mechanics, it was things like flashing up error dialogues that said your memory card had been corrupted and the save had been wiped. And it's like, oh fuck, I'm right near the end. And it's like, oh, you bastard. Trouble was, I would guess, I never got this far to test this, but what happens if your memory card genuinely corrupts? You're just like, nice try, game. I get it. Wait, what?
Oop.
Yeah. Alien Isolation is a good one.
Alien Isolation is... I wish I wasn't such a pansy when it came to playing these games, because from that opening bit, like even when you're on the other ship and then you go on to Sevastopol for the first time, that is so beautiful.
Yeah, it's stunning.
It is so...
Yeah. Can I give you a tip? Pretend you're Geralt. Tell me you wouldn't read the fuck out of Geralt versus Aliens.
They've crossed over everything else at this stage.
Ripley's daughter, Geralt.
All right, pretend you're Siri.
That works as well.
Yeah. She told me to leave you a message. Come on, Roach. What other ones are there? There's some good. Left 4 Dead's good for that, for the jump stuff.
I'm okay with certain games I'm okay with. So things like more action-heavy ones like Left 4 Dead, I'm fine with. Even though, a witch will make me jump and stuff like that.
You played that one, Brad?
What's that?
Left 4 Dead.
I've had a quick blast on it. Yeah.
So for those who aren't familiar, I don't imagine this. I imagine Jeremy asked a question. I imagine it's the kind of one he wouldn't have heard of. It's a up to 4 player cooperative zombie survival game, and it's an action game where you have guns. You don't exactly have an abundance of ammunition from place to place, and the idea is you go from one part of town to another via a few checkpoints. Basically working your way through zombie hordes. And the way it's clever is they had this AI system called the Director, and if the AI decided you're having a too easy a time of it, next time you had to spawn zombies in, it would spawn them from places it normally wouldn't, and it would spawn twice as many. And it would throw in some heavy duty ones like tanks and lickers and smokers.
Or they'll put the witch in a really annoying place.
On the zombie front, one of the genuinely brilliant psychological horror games is the Telltale Walking Dead series.
They are great. Yeah,
because it's just those scruples levels of decisions you have to make. They give you a choice of 2 ways to take the story, and both are fucking horrible.
Yep. Series it doesn't get any better either at the time. It's series 1 is horrendous. Series 2 is similarly horrendous.
Kind of does that, but there is. I found playing to them. There's more usually a good bad option. Whereas Walking Dead, there's no good options.
No, it's just which one is less shit.
It's quite comic accurate.
Yeah, very much so.
No, I think that's generally one of the best psychological horror games for a long time.
Yeah, I think that's a good one.
I'm fine with certain games which people could argue have a horror thing.
Things in Darkness you don't like?
No, I like the Darkness. That's a fine game.
That's because Blake believes in a thing called love.
Yeah. And Jackie Estacado.
Yeah.
Needs more.
Would you play Alien Isolation if the alien was voiced by Mike Patton?
I'd rent the fuck out of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, at least if he found me, he sang me a song instead of killing me on a plane.
Do you worry?
That's not how Mike Patton works. And
yeah.
He definitely killed me.
Are you worried he'd be aggressive? Be aggressive. That's the only more joke I'll ever make on the podcast.
Yeah. With horror games, I'm not great with survival horror per se, but I mean, I'm okay with the more like lighter things, but are still action-y. So I mean, like I was fine with like BioShock,
Resi 4,
or Resi 4 to a degree. I got stuck on it in the end, so I never finished.
It's a good game.
Oh yeah, no, it was this annoying bit where it just seemed to be absolutely forever between save points.
Yeah, there was a few bits like that in the game,
and that's why I was just like, I cannot do this bit.
Shame about 5 and 6. I hear 7's very good. I've not played it.
Yeah, again, that looks like that might creep me out a bit.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that it's VR optional is that's never a good sign. There seems to be a big push with VR and horror. That seems to be the only thing they're releasing for it. Yeah. Even the games that are
occasionally
not
shoot
VR,
them up like light gun games.
Yeah, even the ones that aren't horror have got jumpy elements, like that Batman one I played, the Arkham VR. I was hoping it would just be an Arkham game in VR, like a Skyrim from. Well, no, what I mean is like Skyrim VR. Skyrim VR is just, from what I understand,
I thought it would just be watching my parents get shot.
You do in VR,
yeah,
and they're fucking enormous. Because I'm 6'7", and they frame the perspective to make me look like a kid. So I can only assume they're like 11 feet tall. It's like, why do you need my help? Surely you can just take this guy.
Yeah, surely you can just slap the gun out of the guy's hands from where you're standing.
Puny human.
Yeah, they're just the giants from Skyrim.
Yeah, Bruce, you didn't tell me. Bruce, you didn't tell me your parents were fucking titans. Yeah, the Batman VR one has jumpy bits because the whole premise of the game is you're like Nightwing and Robin have both gone missing and you've got to find them. And Robin turns up.
Kids.
I know, right? And then music. Robin's locator turns up and Alfred goes, "Oh, he's in the sewer, sir." And I'd already had a look because I went through into the Batcave and explored the Batcave a bit. I have found the data bank and there were a list of heroes and a list of villains, and one of the ones that was listed specifically was Killer Croc, who, incidentally, if you press the button on the databank, it spawns in a CG image of them, and Killer Croc appeared here. I was like, oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Looking up again, going,
and
Mr.
also,
Wayne.
I will admit the Arkham games Killer Croc does look genuinely nasty.
Oh,
Yeah, well, he
brilliant.
looks nasty, and like I say, he's in VR and he's right in front of your fucking face.
What
So I
platform
was,
was this one?
PS4.
Okay.
PS4
I've
with
yet to play
yeah.
any VR system.
Yeah. It's fun in batches.
Yeah.
It's not something I'd do for a long time.
Yeah, sure.
But I
Did you
say,
invest?
no, not personally.
No,
I just don't play it
not
enough.
in general.
So,
I'm not that.
I'm not a massive.
Not
I
that
don't. I
solvent,
mean,
to
even
be
with the
honest with
price cut, I'm still not interested.
I'm not a massive horror gamer, and that seems to be the bulk of the stuff that's on VR now.
Yeah, there's a couple of little games like Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes.
That's fun.
Look
I
like,
played that with my sister.
That looks fun.
That's a fun game to play if you don't really understand how each other's minds work.
Okay.
It's bomb defusal. So one person has the bomb in front of them on the VR, and then the other person has the manual either on the screen on the TV or in print form, and they have to go, right, what color is, what kind of puzzle is it? Right, it's three wires. Okay, I need to go to the 3 wire section. Like, is it red wire, blue wire? Oh, there's no blue wires. Okay, moving to the next bit.
Yeah,
you have to cross-reference everything in time, and then the person has to be good enough at describing it to you that you build up a
brilliant.
rapport. It's
really
really fun.
No,
yeah.
it looked like an excellent party game in general.
Yes,
let alone that.
It's a good party game.
I don't think it's worth 250 quid. But
No, I think it's good party game also in the sense that you could probably swap out quite easily as like, oh, it's my turn on the book now. It's like, oh, I'm going to swap out and so-and-so's going to go
I
on the
have
helmet.
told you could play Keep Talking on like a laptop as long as you have a print copy. As long as the other people can't see the laptop, you can.
You could do it privately, but it's not as much fun. I don't think. I think you'd lose something from not having the VR available. But like. There's certain games I'd probably give a go, but they're not, like you say, they're not worth spending the VR money on. I'd love to play Surgeon Simulator VR because that game's fun as fuck in general.
Yeah.
Papers, Please VR. Just lean into the X-ray scanners.
That game is just the hardest to sell.
It is a tough one to talk people through. Yeah, I need that as my text message alert, especially when I get one from you. Dino Crisis 1. Okay, that's a good horror game.
Yeah, I wasn't so bad with that one.
Yeah, Dino Crisis.
Because I didn't find dinosaurs as terrifying as
zombies,
as slickers. Yeah,
yeah. Dino Crisis 2 Dino Crisis 1 and 2 went the same way as like it was went from a horror game to an action game. Dino Crisis 2 was more like an action game. Had more you had more guns and a more selection of silly guns like Resi 2.
Yeah, because I think I didn't play Dino Crisis 2. I played a bit of Dino Crisis 1, and I would found that, but I thought even though I know there were jump scares, and not saying it didn't make me jump, obviously,
but it didn't shit you up.
I don't know. I didn't find dinosaurs as abjectly terrifying as.
Well, as a creationist, I'm surprised by the fact that as a creationist, you're not more scared by dinosaurs because they terrify your worldview.
Zombies don't.
They're just like giant turkeys.
They just suspend disbelief. It's fine.
Yeah. They're not real. Zombies, on the other hand.
Yeah, there you go.
I wish for a better horror tabletop games, but it's a very hard thing to do on the tabletop.
Mansions is probably the closest.
the one that's come
Mansions is a good one
in terms
for
of
eerie. Yeah. Call of Cthulhu is a role play.
Role playing games or LARPs you can do easier. But board game, even something like Space Hulk is tense as fuck, but you couldn't say it was scary.
No. Yeah, in the same way the Steam game is as well. Yeah, you're sort of like, oh no, I'm gonna miss.
Yeah, it's more like I'm boned.
They can do tense very well, but I think Manchester's the only one I found that's come anywhere even close to being scary.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's one of those you stood in the hall. There's a noise coming from there, and that or something all over there. You're like, I generally don't want to go anywhere.
Yeah, can I just go on a gap here or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, we still need to play that card game I got for Christmas, which is basically The Thing.
Yeah, it does look really good.
Play that at some point.
But that would make a good recording, actually.
If I can get enough cunts together, yeah. And you guys, obviously.
Are they required?
Yeah. I think it's 3+, so ideally you want
that's
more
the age range, dude.
Yeah. Well, I think that's why I think they can cope.
Yeah.
I kid. I don't think they can cope. I'm trying to think I don't really have any scary games now because I had Until Dawn, but I traded it in because I finished it and I was like, I loved it. It was my favourite game that year, but I was never going to play it again.
I'm only just now doing a second playthrough.
Yeah, I played Hidden Agenda. That's not really scary in the in the strictest sense. It's more sort of impactful. Yeah, but still worth a play. The Impatient we talked about the other day. I looked it up. It is VR required.
It's
unfortunately.
Required. Okay,
Otherwise, I would have probably picked it up.
Yeah, from videos I've seen, it looks like.
Yeah. You're saying it's a prequel, right, to Until Dawn? Yeah, it sounds cool. It's just, again, there's no one game that makes me go, I need not only a VR, but also a PS4 Pro, because you need one to be able to play it.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's come down a bit in price.
You need a Pro with a VR?
Yep.
So. I thought you just needed VR.
No, you need to have the Pro PS4 in order to make it work. To do with the processing power it requires.
Blast processing.
Yeah, blast processing.
Not only does it want me to spend 250 quid.
They want you to spend 450 quid.
Yeah, I was going to say, fuck
That's it. That's the thing. When people were saying, VR's quite a bit cheaper than I thought. It's like, no, it's not really, is it?
No, I thought PSVR, the idea of it was that it worked on...
Was it comparable?
I may be wrong. I'm pretty sure it's VR. The Pro is a requirement for VR.
I thought it came with... I thought there was a separate thing that added extra processing power for the VR that plugged into the PlayStation.
No, I think it's just helmet to USB.
It'll be a Star Wars VR game that swings you, won't it?
There is already a Star Wars VR game, and it looks like Guitar Hero, and I hate the look of it.
Huh. Oh, that weird
one that keeps doing the. I keep getting it promoted posts on Instagram.
I didn't realise that was actually.
I don't think it's licensed. I think it will be shut down within weeks.
The only
there's a VR experience up in London, which I'm pretty tempted by.
It sounds pretty. It's supposed to be pretty good.
A ticket, I'm like, I could probably swing that.
Yeah,
I've heard as when it first came out, I've heard it was one of the good things to have about Battlefront 4 was the VR experience of sitting in a.
Yeah, apparently the VR Star Wars. There is a Star Wars VR experience on PlayStation as well, and that's supposed to be all right.
Okay.
But they're talking about the one up in the 4-player one up in London, the one in Docklands, where you can actually.
Oh no, I was thinking of the Battlefront
VR experience thing. Yeah, but that's supposed to be good.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, it does sound fun. It's supposed to be good.
Yeah,
but say again, it's not going to sway me to spend 450 quid.
Yeah. I think that is half the problem. It is the price point for VR.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of any other. I didn't really have any scary games on PS2. There were Silent Hill games because I had Silent Hill 2, and that had some shitty moments, like when you were trying to run away from Pyramid Head and stuff.
Those games, again, it was more actiony, and again, I don't think it really affected me. But it was like one in the prison,
Manhunt,
Suffering.
That was it.
Manhunt.
Manhunt was dark, I suppose, and had jump bits in it.
Manhunt was dark, but it was also you with a monster, really.
Yeah, I suppose. Well, turns out it's man.
It's like when you play Friday the 13th online, you're Jason. It's like, this isn't scary, but it's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is actually something. Every now and then it comes on the sale, and I've been tempted to buy it.
It's fun. I regret paying full price for it, but it is fun.
Yeah, but I've seen it come out for like 15 quid, and I thought I
paid 40 on launch day.
Pretty much.
And when I paid it, it was like when the DLC comes back, you'll get that for free as well. But even so, I paid over the odds for it. About 15 quid's about right.
That's pretty much how I felt about Naughty Bear. Do you remember Naughty Bear?
No.
It's basically Friday the 13th, but you played as one teddy bear who was Naughty Bear. Okay. And his job was to destroy all the other teddy bears on the island.
Okay.
And you were cut off from the mainland, but at the same time it meant there were boats you could go and... So the idea was you'd have to sneak around, sabotage everything, and at the same time shit the other bears up so they start going crazy. And the ultimate goal is they all kill themselves.
Excellent.
It was one of those games that got slated in reviews, but I loved it.
I don't remember. I remember the game coming up. I don't remember it doing favourably.
No, it didn't. No, and this is a shame because I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a really fun game, and it wasn't technically particularly impressive. It had a few weird bugs and stuff, but at the same time, I really enjoyed it. I just didn't want to pay 40 quid. I wish I hadn't. That was the only thing, but it was so much fucking fun. It was just silly kind of fun, It was like the Supernatural episode where the toys come to life, and there's the bear that's suicidal and it tries to blow its own brains out, and you just see stuffing pop out. It was that sort of humour. Sure. It was just that basically made into a game.
It's a little bit like a cross between, as you said, Friday the 13th, but also the Mega Drive game, The Haunting.
Kind of
mentioned a couple of episodes back.
Yeah, kind of.
When Spike was last on.
I think there weren't any N64 games that were particularly scary for me.
No Mercy.
Only
the only N64 game, wasn't it, back in GoldenEye?
Would my save game endure or would it wipe? It's not really a game. It's not really.
I think Nintendo wasn't really pro horror about that.
They weren't so keen on it.
Nintendo's always been weird like that. They've always gone, with a friendly Super Monkey Ball, play with your grandparents type game. Here's Eternal Darkness.
Yeah. It fucks with your mind.
Yeah. They always did that though. The GameCube was like, Super Monkey Ball, Resident Evil.
Sweet. I can get
Nintendo's
both.
always kind of had one
a bit weird.
super dark title.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's true. They had the remake of Resident Evil, which was fucking incredible because they had controls.
Very good.
Even though
it was really well done.
I know they're not horror games, but I'm surprised that they bought Bayonetta.
It came out with GameCube. The trouble is with GameCube, it looked like a Tomy toy.
That's the trouble, isn't it? Even though the console itself was great.
Yeah.
Really, really great.
All the controller just looked like a toy.
Yeah, that was the thing, wasn't it? It was very block colours.
This Boppet's gotten smaller.
Exactly, yeah.
It's that purple and yellow.
It's purple and yellow, green and red, and bold colour. It was all block colours.
And just at the time, the PlayStation and the Xbox looked like hi-fi equipment, and the GameCube looked like a toy.
Yeah, and it's weird because they've gone more and more like the PS4 and the Xbox. I think look more and more like older tech as they go along.
I agree
because they came out looking like Betamax players originally.
I know, I agree, absolutely, I agree.
It's very strange. Going for that weird angular form factor again. Whereas the Switch is like, fuck it.
Yeah.
Just put out a console which doesn't even need the side.
Yeah. Totally switched around.
Yeah, it's very strange.
Yeah.
But they're all doing well.
It's a tablet with control.
Yeah, they're all doing well, which is ultimately all we can ask for.
Yeah.
No real horror games on Switch that I've noticed so far.
Yeah.
Unless there's indie games that I'm not aware of, there probably might be a few indie titles.
There's probably some indie ones. Oh, there's like Layers of Fear and re-releases of things like that. So they're like first-person monster cupboards, aren't they? Like,
yeah, I've not played Layers of Fear.
No.
I've seen couple of videos of it. It looks interesting.
I quite like the sound of, although it doesn't make me want to play it, Amnesia, because that's supposed to be part of that. Is it's all kind of Lovecraftian horrors, and you're similarly to the Call of Cthulhu video game. You're not armed.
There's another Lovecraft game where it was Sunken City.
Yes,
it was pitched to me as Lovecraft meets LA Noire, and I was like, yeah, you have my erection.
Priapism.
Yeah, pretty much. I'll be all over that. Like,
Call of Cthulhu this year.
I think there is. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that looks like it's going to be you're an investigator, but there will be. It's not a particularly great developer, so it could end up still being balls.
The Holmes, Sherlock Holmes: The Awakened was quite good for that.
That was good.
Quite. Yes. It had a bit of unease to it.
Yeah.
It did a good job.
Yeah,
I have the special edition of that.
Yeah, as point and click is hard as a genre to do fear. Yeah, to do unease and creep and fear. Like the only one that really did that was it 5 Days a Stranger, the Yahtzee one. It was good, but the only problem I had with it
as well, 7 Days of Skeptics.
I never saw that one. I never played that
Event
one.
Horizon.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
nice. Yeah, I played 5 Days a Stranger and I got stuck. Well, I got fucked over, I presume, at the end, and I think I hadn't saved in a while, so I was like, fuck this noise.
There is one bit that's time dependent.
Yes, that's the bit I got stuck on. Is that right near the end, by any chance?
Towards the end, yeah.
Yes. It was good. It was good. Yeah. I enjoy his books, too. Basically, I'm just a fan of his. It's good.
I just watch his reviews. That's all
I watch a shitload of his reviews.
Very good
I go binging on like 5 or 6 in a row.
I saw that his
likes him as well,
books are on Audible, only he does read them. So.
Yes, he does. And that helps a lot. Like, it helps with fiction to a point. Hang on. It helps with fiction to a point. With non-fiction, it's almost essential, I think. Yeah. Especially things like, if it was like an autobiography of somebody and they're not reading it themselves, that wouldn't work.
No, totally.
Even unless it was Rob Brydon, maybe. Okay. Even then, it'd be tenuous.
Still kissing 12-year-old girls.
Good. Good.
Any other ones you can think of, like in terms of ones that really stuck out for you? I'm really struggling. I really am. Condemned is a good one. Actually, now I think about it.
They're meant to be good games, both of them.
It's good because it's another one of those games that's the horror's good because you're not kitted out for it. Mm-hmm. You have a gun, but actually, a lot of the time you've lost it and you have to pick up a pipe and just kind of bludgeon your way through bits.
I think I played a little bit of I think it was like a demo for the second one. Yeah. And it seemed very close combat focused rather than actual.
Yes, it is, yeah.
I've never played Five Nights at Freddy's and I'm wondering if I should.
Yeah. Might be worth doing. I think they're pretty cheap.
Is it free or is it cheap?
It's probably an iPad or something.
You probably get some sort of Newgrounds equivalent.
On iPad, definitely.
Yeah, you probably get some sort of Newgrounds equivalent, if not.
Yeah.
6 Nights at Jeff's.
Yeah.
Yeah, I must admit, I'm amazed it's got so much of a following behind it.
I'm amazed with
like what James was saying with the toys.
My man Jez was saying, it seems weird. It doesn't seem to, from what I've seen of it, it doesn't seem to be a kid-friendly game.
Not
particularly. If your son's digging it, then fine. But
Freddie's a lovely young man, but he's weird like that in terms of stuff he likes that you wouldn't expect. Okay, he throws a curvevball every now and then.
Yeah, but it's just the
not
merch,
sporty, but just
a lot of the merch does seem to be kid-centric.
Yeah, I don't really get that, to be honest. I think we were talking about this a bit Like when you first brought up Five Nights at Freddy's a couple of episodes ago, it's like it's a weird thing to market to the Funko Pop crowd.
But when I walked
around,
that's all cartoonised. Toys R Us when it was shutting down.
No, how sad is that? Did you find that sad experience?
We don't blame you.
It was a sad experience.
I felt really. I don't well up much, right? It's not uncommon for me to get emotional, but that was probably the closest I'd come in a long time, because it was just.
It felt like an age thing, I think.
It wasn't even just that. There was that to it as well. But I thought, just walking through it, I was just like, oh man, like this is quite depressing to see this, like something that, when I was a kid, it was full to the brim and it was always busy, and you couldn't imagine taking the last one off the shelf because it just couldn't be done, like unless it was something really hard to get hold of. And now it's like, was there anything left? Like I saw somebody shared, there was a picture somebody shared on Instagram. I'm
assuming it got worse when that's inside after I went.
This is it. Somebody shared a picture on Instagram and the Lego section was just empty. I was surprised by that, because apparently Lego are really shit at letting you discount stuff. But
do you know why?
Because they don't want it to be devalued.
Lego recalled it, that's why the shelves are empty.
What's that, sorry?
Lego recalled it because they won't let you discount it.
Yeah. So just like, right, you fucking take it then.
Yeah, pretty much.
They were doing a small amount of discount. It was like 10%.
Yeah, there will be a bottom line that Lego wouldn't let them discount below.
Cut off where it's like, you can't discount it more than this.
Yeah.
And that's why their shops are really expensive.
Wow.
Yeah. Although realistically, having worked in a shop that went into administration, I can tell you there's every chance the Toys R Us employees probably just went, oh, fuck it, discount it, what they're going to do.
Yeah, maybe. In which case they said, we'll have that back then if you can't play nice.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you going to do, fire us?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, no, I mean Lego shops, the Lego shop. I mean,
that
as
is
hobbies
expensive.
go, it's an expensive one.
It is. It's also getting less imaginative, I think.
Yeah, I was in a Lego shop in Bluewater the other day, and I was just
like... doing their film all about that, basically.
Yeah, I used to... going in was Lego Death Star's amazing.
Yeah,
I thought the Ghostbusters fire station was one I really wanted. It looked so good, and I went in a couple of days ago. I was just like,
yeah. So, and the other thing, let's say, when we were kids, I don't know how much you guys were into Lego when you were younger. Probably quite a bit, right?
We had
a Lego set, but it was really before there was any of the licensed stuff.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. It's like when I was a kid, you just had a shitload of Lego and you just created whatever.
Yeah, we had like a couple of buckets worth of it. You know, like you used to get the buckets of random things.
Yeah, we used to have the big, the big buckets. They're almost like dustbin sized. I think you can probably use them as garden bins. That sort of size. We had a couple of those full of Lego. Yeah. That's how much we were. Because my sister used to like play together and kind of create, we had like some space bits, and they weren't Star Wars bits. They were generic space things, and you just created space. You had a space terrain, and you just created a space base, and it didn't matter. It didn't have to be like movie accurate, but it's like they're so prescriptive with these things. Like this is the bits for a Death Star. It's like, can I make it? No. There's a bit for the Death Star. It won't work in any other way.
And even the price points are obviously at the adult collector market,
Sure.
aren't they?
Oh, for sure.
Oh, well, that's what I mean. Like
£300 for a Lego set is like
the Death Star and
the Death Star's nearer 500.
Richie McTuffington.
I thought they were 300, and I thought the Ghostbusters
was about 200.
About 300, or 250 or something.
Yeah,
it was within reach.
Anyway, I hope this conversation about Lego answers your question about horror games, Joe. Yeah.
Horror Lego, that's for future.
Maybe.
Horror Lego VR.
Yeah, Ghostbusters, a video game. That was awesome.
I'm going to hold off the next question because it's a long one. I think it would take a while. Yeah. So because it's getting a little bit late here,
milk on my way
that is fine. We will adjourn here. So thank you for listening to the E14 Gamecast, and hopefully you've enjoyed our discussion about horror games and the other thing, Doris Day movies. Man, Jeremy, you throw us curveballs when we're not even playing
Doris Day Lego.
Games.
There's a niche.
Doris Day Lego. There you go. 5 nights at Doris Day's house. Want more quiche?
I like the idea of going like, and slamming the door in her face.
Ow, my nose. If you've enjoyed the show, and there's every reason to suggest you should, because our fan base is somewhere in the conservative estimate of fucking millions.
Yep.
You can subscribe to the show via various different services. I'm going to list a few of them for you now, and there are others where if you can search them on emotionally14.com. We are available on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Spotify, Libsyn, Podchaser, Podcatcher, Bean,
Stitcher.
Stitcher. That's the other one.
Libsyn.
Libsyn, I've already said.
Spotify
has been done. Just because I pronounce it differently, it's still covered.
Apple Podcasts?
Apple Podcasts is covered.
YouTube?
Yep. YouTube is there, yep.
Did you?
Yep.
Pop Chaser, Pop Bean.
Yep, they're all
YouTube?
there. YouTube. RedTube.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Probably should be.
Yeah. The history of gaming gets fucked by 3 dudes.
3 dudes get railed.
So there's just some of the services we can available on. We're available on all good podcast catchers. You can use the RSS feed. You can use the RSS feeds. Well, I already mentioned Apple Podcasts. Oh no, we didn't. You can get our RSS feed from the Libsyn page, and I think it's available on the E14 page as well. So you can do all that there. If you want to write into the show and give us subjects to talk about, or maybe you want our opinions on particular games or upcoming releases or old games, whatever you want. We've been playing for quite some time. That goes for video and tabletop, of course. You can email us at podcast@emotionally14.com, or you can tweet us at emotionally14, or join our Facebook group, the E14 Gamecast, as well as our Facebook page, Emotionally 14. Blake, where can people find you on social media between shows?
You can find me on Instagram at Harmer the Appreciator. You can find me on Twitter at FucksakeBlake, and you can find me on Facebook and obviously the Facebook group on the Gamescast.
Cool. Brad?
Find me at RealBradHB on Twitter and Instagram, and I also do 2 video series for Emotionally 14, one for Brick Fury, focused on hero clicks, and Fire When Ready, focused on Star Wars Legion. And if you're feeling so inclined, you can buy my books from Amazon.
So you can, and you can do so using the Amazon widget that's embedded in emotionally14.com. So every time Brad posts something, there's underneath his posts is a list of books.
I'll do it more.
That's fine. But also it's on your little bio thing on the E14.
It's better for my own website.
Team E14. Well, you know. A lot of the stuff is just me copying and pasting stuff. There's a run of that. So you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at RobWadeVision. You can find everything else I do aside from emotionally14.com at talkstarwars.co.uk. But like I say, Twitter and Instagram is the best place to enjoy my musings. And like I say, join the Facebook groups because we're trying to get the memberships up on those. Besides that, that's it, isn't it?
Where can people follow Jeremy?
Jeremy, he can be found at Rolling Jeremy on Twitter. I don't know if he's got Instagram, but at Rolling Jeremy. He's also in the Facebook group, so you can chat to him there. And, you know, thank him for giving us a show.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, he kind of does.
Thank you, Jez.
Thanks, mate.
Yes, thank
Always
you.
appreciated. So thank you very much for listening. Stay subscribed, because reasons, and Bibbidi Bop Games.
You died.
Dice rolling sound.
There you go.